When Emily arrived in Africa, she never imagined that her trip would take such an unexpected turn. As soon as she and her friends landed, they were greeted by a guide at the airport. The journey to the hotel was long and exhausting, with the Jeep jolting at every bump on the dirt road. Along the way, the guide talked about the region and repeatedly warned them in a serious tone that venturing into the jungle alone was extremely dangerous. As she admired the lush landscape, Emily noticed something unusual among the trees. At first it seemed like nothing more than a dark shadow, but soon it began moving toward her. Her heart pounded as she recognized the imposing figure of a massive gorilla. The animal's eyes gleamed with alertness, and its face twisted into an expression of pure irritation. It felt threatened. The gorilla tilted its head to the side, as if assessing Emily, and then took a step forward. Panic surged through her, and she tried to step back, but a sharp pain shot through her leg, making her stumble. She vaguely recalled a survival rule about encountering bears: play dead. She had no idea if it would work on a gorilla, but she had no other option. Holding her breath, Emily collapsed to the ground, motionless. She shut her eyes and tried to appear as unthreatening as possible. Soon, she felt the animal's presence beside her. It circled her, sniffing her body with curiosity. When its nose brushed against her injured ankle, Emily couldn't suppress a muffled groan. The gorilla froze for a moment, as if processing the information, then suddenly grabbed her and slung her over its shoulder. She let out a startled cry, but resistance was useless. The animal carried her away to an unknown destination, and her mind filled with terrifying images. Was she being taken as prey? Dragged to some dark lair to be devoured? Emily clung to the thick fur on the gorilla's back to keep from falling, her heart pounding wildly. After several minutes, it abruptly dropped her onto the floor of a small cave. The landing was painful, leaving her hands and knees scraped. She immediately turned around, pressing her back against the cold stone wall, trying to make herself as small as possible. To her surprise, however, the gorilla showed no further aggression. It simply sat near the entrance, watching the rain fall outside. It didn't attack her, nor did it even look in her direction. Emily realized this was her chance to escape. Moving cautiously, she began crawling towards the exit. The pain in her leg was excruciating, but she ignored it. However, before she could get far, the gorilla moved in an instant. It blocked her path, baring its sharp teeth and letting out a deafening roar. Emily froze. The sheer power of the animal made her understand the obvious. Escape was impossible. Even if she tried to run, she would never be fast enough. The gorilla pressed a heavy hand on her shoulder, forcing her back against the wall. The moment she settled, it returned to its spot at the entrance, watching the storm once more. And that's when it hit her. The gorilla wasn't holding her captive. It was protecting her. It had taken her out of the jungle and brought her to a safe, dry place, away from whatever dangers lurked in the darkness. No predator would dare approach such a powerful creature. Her fear melted into gratitude. Feeling calmer, Emily remembered her phone and rummaged through her backpack. Everything was soaked, but she tried to dry the device. A spark of hope flickered as the screen lit up, still functional. Wasting no time, she called the rescue team and gave them her location. They instructed her to stay put and keep the phone on. Throughout the call, the gorilla simply watched her, curious but not aggressive. Wanting to show appreciation, Emily took a piece of bread from her backpack and offered it to the animal. The gorilla eyed it suspiciously, so she took a bite to demonstrate that it was food. After a moment of hesitation, it finally accepted the treat, crunching it with satisfaction. Hours later, rescuers arrived. As Emily stood, the gorilla observed her intently. Then, to her astonishment, it picked her up again and carried her to a clearing. The moment it heard human voices approaching, it gently set her down and disappeared into the trees. Emily felt a lump in her throat. The creature that had once terrified her had in truth saved her life. There in the heart of the African jungle, she had witnessed an unexpected bond between two beings from entirely different worlds.